Hey everyone, we're here with Youth Grow Youth and the founder of Youth Grow Youth, Simone Sharma. Firstly, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So, Simone, let's get right into it. Could you please tell the audience in brief about your organization?
Of course. So, Youth Grow Youth is a nonprofit organization I founded a couple of months ago that basically promotes opportunities for youth to get involved in the community. So, when I was growing up, I found out that volunteering is this huge thing, and all these people want to do it, and you need it for your scholarship, you need it to get into a good university, and yet I did not really know how to get involved. And the kids who were really kind of into these things were super low key about the things they were doing. And they never really spoke much about all of these things. So I kind of just had to figure this out on my own. And when I started discovering opportunities and, started getting involved into these things, is also pretty much when we decided to build upon a community
Mhm.
where we would put out monthly opportunities now, be it volunteering positions, internships, scholarships, grants, university webinars, and all of these opportunities. Only so it becomes a lot easier and so much more accessible for the youth. So for me, it's really about how do we make sure we can provide the youth with these opportunities. So we're directed as high school students around the world, and we're really helping youth explore and navigate their own personal career journeys with these opportunities. And slowly, I and Youth Grow Youth as a platform started interacting with social issues and these intersectional issues. And that's when we also realized how biased our society really is in terms of opportunity accessibilities, especially in rural areas, right? So that's when I decided to make Youth Grow Youth a global community platform where we help raise standards and bars of gender equality by, encouraging and providing more girls with these opportunities. So it becomes easier for them to really put themselves out there and, grab the opportunities.
So basically, you're revolving around the fact of the main importance of gender equality. So not
Yeah.
okay. So, what gave you the inspiration or like any real life experiences to start such a beautiful organization with such a vivid motive?
So for me, I founded Youth Grow Youth just personally through my challenges and wanting to create more opportunities for young people because I realized there was a huge accessibility gap between the youth and an ample amount of opportunities that were getting met. There was opportunity out there for youth to volunteer, for them to get jobs, to get scholarships, to fund their education after high school, and yet it was so difficult for youth to be able to find these opportunities. And I personally felt that way because I was one of those youths. So, what really inspired me to bring this idea into real life, I'd say, definitely was how can we make sure that young people get access equally to the same opportunities that anybody else would. How do we make sure that they're picking their careers based off of all the right knowledge and information surrounding them? So having these opportunities in various forms really helped me get a lot clearer about what I wanted to do in future. And my goal is that young people grabbing these opportunities can also figure out what they want to do with their careers. So from there, we've grown quite a bit. We have a team of about 12 people from across the globe, and we've been invited to a couple of youth forums and UN regional discussions to put forward our ideas and scale all of this to bigger levels. So yeah, it's been pretty great since.
Right, that's a really beautiful actually. So,
Thank you.
moving on, how do you plan to connecting organizations and opportunities with prospective students or aspiring applicants?
Okay, so Youth Grow Youth as a platform revolves around promoting 5 monthly opportunities. And these would help the youth get involved in different extracurriculars and, eventually help them boost their applications. since we're all pretty much aware of how big of a role they play in any application, right?
Right.
And like I mentioned earlier, these would be in different forms. So these could range anywhere from upcoming scholarship opportunities, internships, or volunteering positions in and around India. And we also promote global internships, but again, these would solely be remote based internships. Apart from this, we would also lay on exclusive webinars for the youth about where they can find these resources and how they can find them, just general university tips, and all of these recommendations, these tips would come straight from alumni. So we would have these details put out in forms of posts, interviews, podcasts, etc. So that's just how we're planning on connecting applicants with all of these diverse opportunities.
Right, that's pretty definitive to the question. So, why do you think people should be a part of this beautiful initiative you have created or join you guys to doing what you're doing?
So that's a really good question. Thank you for asking. So I feel if you're somebody who is, really looking at wanting to study outside of India and have super good grades and everything, but still sort of struggle with finding opportunities, because I was totally one of those kids who pretty much balanced sports and studies, but could never figure a way with extracurriculars until lately. So you totally must get involved with us if that's the similar case with you. And on a super quick note, by opportunities, I don't mean those, boring, forceful internship you have to do in order to enhance your applications. I mean these really fun youth community-based opportunities where you'll certainly have fun doing what you're doing. Again, be it internships you're doing or the organizations you're volunteering for, I can vouch for the fact that you will have so much fun.
Right. I think that's pretty intriguing. I want to join it right at this point. So moving further, since you have just started with the organization, what are your long-term goals? What do you scope on doing in the future? Maybe like sharing the message around or connecting with other people, etc.
So, like I mentioned earlier, we work towards intersectional issues too as an organization. And one thing we're super passionate about advocating is definitely gender equality. So we definitely do have a couple of ideas planned for the following year, some of which are organizing our very own MUN to raise funds, starting our own fundraising projects through which we would fundraise money for mostly education-based charities, collaborating with international level committees and youth forums to, present our ideas on a global level and eventually garner more awareness has definitely got to be one of our primary goals. And apart from these projects, we're also hoping on, organizing workshops, conducting online events, and these fun things. So yeah, we have quite a lot planned for this year.
Right. I'm pretty sure everyone who follows you is probably looking forward to it as well. So I really had to say something when I started researching about before we went this interview. I obviously researched about your organization, what you guys do, and I had to say something that I couldn't take my eyes off. The fact that you had started about in December 20th, I believe, somewhere around there, and have already intrigued so many people across the world. So congratulations on achieving one of the most important thing a youth organization could have aimed for, is to spread the motive. So further in the future, do you think you'll be able to share your motive much quicker and efficiently compared to millions of youth organizations around the world? And will you be able to come on top with your beautiful motive?
So I totally agree with that point. There's so many organizations out there, youth organizations that are running along the same lines. But what I feel would, help us come on top in comparison with all the other organizations is the community that we're working on building. We're not solely a page that would, put out monthly posts and then go like, okay, we're done with our work. The rest is up to you. It's this whole interactive community of like-minded youth we're trying to achieve, where we can discuss solutions and problems related to our journeys and experience from our present day school. until, our last day of choices of universities. And of course, also by connecting with bigger forums and committees, and by presenting our ideas and, promoting our organizations on bigger levels, we could definitely stand out.
Right. And I hope you actually do stand out. As we're coming to the end of this meeting, are there any open positions in your team? Please do let our viewers know.
Yeah, for sure. So our applications are open on a rolling basis throughout the year because we believe it's always amazing to have, more and more passionate youth on board with. And we don't really have a specific application timeline. So you could apply if you're interested. And if you're through with the application, we would send you an acceptance letter and you join our team in whichever position you're interested in. And all the information about the same is on our page.
Yeah. Okay. So for the audience who are watching this, we'll obviously leave their description down below. So if you want to join the organization, you're most welcome to. So any advice to the viewers in terms of education, internships, or anything in general?
Let's see. I think an advice I'd give would be to reflect every single day, and especially reflect on anything you're super passionate about or you really want to do well in. I feel reflection really is the key. So for me, if I'm, really into a certain class or just basketball practice, what I do at the end of every session is actually reflect on how it went. What did I do well? What didn't I do well? And, how can I improve for the next time on the things that didn't go so well? And just asking these 3 questions at the end always helps me improvise for the next time I have a session, now be it sports or studies, because now I just know how to do better at the things that went wrong initially, right? And just reaching out for help, huge thing. I struggled with that for a long time. So reflecting and reaching out for help, I think I really recommend and goes a super long way.
That's beautiful. I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching could take that into consideration and maybe start a beautiful organization like yours. So, coming to the end of this meeting, thank you everyone for watching, listening to this beautiful meeting we had. And thank you, Simone, for joining us at Teen Chapter.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun here today.
Okay. See you guys.